Punx workout. We are going to use our mat as always, but we're going to sprinkle in some added props if you have them to use at home. So we have a fit ball, we have a TheraBand, and we also have some hand weights. Everything that we're using, we also have the option of doing the work without the props. So if you don't have them, don't stop this video quite yet. We can do everything with or without the props. The props just add to the workout. So let's go ahead and get started and see what that looks like. All right, we are going to start off laying down on the mat on our back, and if you have a fit ball, we'll take it with us. We're gonna lay down and place that ball in between your knees, and if you don't have a ball, then we know our feet will be hip bone distance apart and our knees are right in line with those hip bones as well. Nice big inhale in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. We want to draw that breath out to the sides of the ribs, take it to the upper back as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we sink the navel to spine a little bit deeper. Again, big inhale in through the nose, trying to fill up our lungs completely with air, and as we exhale out all of the breath, we want to make sure we're emptying out all that breath we just took in. One more nice deep inhale in through the nose. And we exhale out through the mouth. We'll be adding movement, continuing the breathing pattern. Inhale, we lift the hips up. Exhale, our arms go up and over. Keep the arms reaching back. We inhale, slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Your tailbone lengthens to the mat. We exhale, draw the arms by the side. Again, we inhale, lift. You can squeeze into that ball a little bit if you have a ball. If you don't have that ball, I want you to make sure your knees are staying right in line with your hip bones. They're not buckling in towards one another or away from one another. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, arms go up and over. Keep the arms reaching back as we slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. And then we exhale, draw the arms back down by the side again. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, arms come up and over. Keep the arms reaching back so we get that oppositional stretch as we round down. And then we draw the arms back by our side. We are gonna set that ball out of the way if you're using one. We wanna lay down on our side. Our back will be lined up with the back edge of the mat, and our legs are drawn to tabletop. We take the hands behind the neck and head and close up the elbows. Knees stay stacked as we open up that top elbow, rotate to look long past it, and then we close up the elbows. So inhale to prepare. We will exhale on our opening. We take an inhale while we're open, and then we exhale to close back up. Make sure that top knee doesn't slide back. We have one more. Hips stay stacked. Big inhale. Exhale, open. Nice deep inhale while we're open, and exhale. We close back up, and then we're gonna switch sides. So we want to set ourselves up, again, laying with our back lined up with the back edge of the mat. Our legs are drawn to tabletop in front of us. Our knees are stacked, our ankles are stacked, our hands go behind the neck and head, the elbows close up. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, we rotate, look long past that open elbow. Big inhale, and exhale, we close. Again, nice big inhale, knees stay glued together. Exhale, open up, deep inhale, and exhale, we'll close. Relax the shoulders, one more deep inhale. Exhale, rotating, opening up, look long past that elbow. Nice big inhale, and exhale, we can close back up. We're gonna make our way back to laying on our back for our hundreds. So we have the option of either being in tabletop or extending the legs long. Make sure your back is nice and flush on the mat. Lift the legs to tabletop. We round up through the chest, and then you start pumping your arms. If your legs are long, your heels are together, toes apart. If you have your legs in tabletop, your feet are parallel. We want to round up to where the base of the shoulder blades is touching the mat. You're gazing at your navel point. Keep those inner thighs hugging together. Sink that navel point back even deeper. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. The arms are pumping like we're splashing the surface of water. Keep the wrists nice and long. Keep those lats engaged so that we are using our back to pump the arms. Round up a little bit more. We bend the legs to tabletop and we relax back down. You can give your knees a little hug into the chest, take a little release off of our lower back. We're gonna plant our feet, again, hip bone distance apart, and we're going to be rounding our way all the way up to sitting up nice and tall. So we wanna use our abs, finding that articulation. We sit tall at the top, and then you can slowly round your way right back down. Now, if you're having a challenging time getting all the way up, walk your hands up the backs of legs. If you feel that your feet are picking up slightly, you might need to slide the feet a little bit further away from your tush. We want to find that scoop of the belly, relax the shoulders, we slowly round our way all the way back down. Feet are firmly planted. Again, chin towards chest, we can round our way all the way up. Sit up tall here and then find that C curve, relax the shoulders, slowly round our way all the way back down, neck and head draw back to the mat. Feet are planted, chin towards chest, we round our way all the way up, sit tall, and then we find that scoop of the belly, relax the shoulders, we slowly round our way all the way back down, relax the neck and head back. Again, chin towards chest, we round all the way up, sit up tall at the top, and then we can find that scoop of the belly. We really want to use our abs and not our hip flexors to control that work. From here, we are going to get the heels a little bit closer to the tush because we are going to be doing some bridging. Lift those hips up nice and high, squeeze the glutes, and then we slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Your feet are hip bone distance apart. We tuck that pelvis and peel up one vertebrae at a time. And think of lengthening the knees across the room to fire up that back side, and then we slowly round right back down. So without your feet moving, you really want to think of dragging the heels towards the tush, connecting into the glutes. And we're going to lift 1 inch higher and 1 inch lower, pulsing up and down. Little lifts. We want to squeeze those cheeks together, breathing through your work, and then we can slowly round our way right back down. We're going to be adding to this. If the next thing is too much, continue with what we just were doing. Otherwise, we lift that right leg up to the ceiling, and we're going to lower and lift that right leg. You want your hips to stay nice and even, your back to stay nice and long, and we connect into your right oblique here. We lower and lift that leg, lengthen and lower and lift. We keep it lifted up to the ceiling, and we pulse 1 inch up and 1 inch down, squeezing the glutes. That left hamstrings are going to really fire up. We bend that right knee, plant your foot, and slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Nice big inhale and exhale. We tuck the pelvis and we lift. This time the left leg lifts up to the ceiling, and we lower down through the left leg and lift up. Reach long out of the hip. We lengthen and lower and lift. We have 3. Connecting into our left oblique. Last 2. And 1. Lift the leg up and pulse up an inch and down an inch. Squeeze the glutes, lifting and lowering, breathing through our work. Keep going here. And then we bend that knee, plant your foot, and slowly round our way right back down, lengthening your tailbone down into the mat. We can walk the feet a little bit further away for another roll up. We round our way all the way up to sitting up nice and tall. And if you have a band, grab that and take it with you. We lay down. We're going to lengthen our right leg on the mat in line with our hip bone, and then the left leg will lift up to the ceiling. And if we are using a band, it will go around the arch of your left foot. If you don't have a band, you just lift that left leg up directly over your hip. If you don't have a band, your arms are by your side. If you do have a band, you're hanging on to the end of it with your hands. Our heel is towards the midline. We draw across the body, down towards the right ankle, back in line with that left hip, and we lift up, sinking the navel to spine. Again, inhale down and across, back in line with the hip, and exhale it up. We go across the midline, back in line with the hip, we exhale to lift. Again, inhale across the body and lift straight up. We reverse it straight down. You go across the midline and back up to the top. We still have our external rotation. You're leading with your heel. Inhale straight down. Exhale across the body and back up. Inhale straight down, reach long out of that hip, sink that navel to spine to lift. We have 1 more, sinking that navel point back even deeper, and we can go ahead and switch feet. Your left leg is long. Your right leg is up to the ceiling, heel towards the midline. We go across the body first, back in line with the hip, and we lift. Inhale across, back in line with that hip, exhale straight up. Keeping that back from arching, sinking that navel to spine deeper. Inhale across your body, back in line with your hip, we exhale to lift. Inhale down, back in line with that hip, we lift straight up, and we reverse straight down. Exhale across your body and back up. Again, inhale straight down, exhale up and around. Reaching longer and further out of the hip socket, sinking that navel to spine deeper. You've got 2 more. Last one, inhale straight down, exhale up and back around, and then we can get rid of that band. We'll take it off of the foot and just set it aside. From here, we're gonna plant our feet, another opportunity to get into the abs with another sneaky roll up in here. We'll round our way all the way up, and then we're gonna get into the arms a bit. So we'll sit with our legs crisscrossed, and we'll grab our hand weights if you have them. If you don't have weights, we can make this resistance for ourselves. So we sit tall, your arms will be rounded out to the side, soft bend in the elbows, and we reach the arms forward and float them open. Exhale as the arms draw together, and we inhale to open. I want you to make as much space between the base of the rib cage and the hips as you can have. You want to sit up nice and tall, lengthening the crown of the head up to the ceiling, drawing the sit bones together. Reaching the arms in front of you like you're hugging around a big tree, and then slowly floating them open, making your resistance like you are flexing your muscle. Exhale it in, and inhale to open. Growing even taller. And then we can relax the arms. We're gonna bend the elbows. You have a 90-degree bend of the arms, elbows tucked into the side, and you're reaching the arms forward and then grazing the elbows back by the rib cage as we come back in. And as you're doing this work, I want you to make sure your torso is not moving forward and back with the movement of the arms. You sit up nice and tall, and your arms are just reaching forward and drawing back in. I want you to sit up as tall as you can. You wanna have, again, as much space between the base of the rib cage and the hips as you can possibly have, keeping your navel to spine connection. Serving a tray and taking it away. You wanna make sure your arms stay as wide as your shoulders, no wider. Reach the arms forward, and we are drawing circles with your palms facing up towards the ceiling. The circles are the size of a cake plate. Let's reverse our direction, breathing through this work. Keep going here, sitting up nice and tall, and then draw the arms back by your side. We will go ahead and set the weights out of the way, and we are going to make our way to laying on our stomach. We want to have our hands down under our shoulders and our heels together, toes apart if you don't have a band. So we want to, from here, get into our Cobra Lift. Your neck does not change. We use our lower back extensors. We lift up through the chest, and you lower back down. Now you're gonna continue with that unless you have that band. If you have a band, we wanna have the arms long, hanging onto that band. You wanna have a little bit of slack here, because we want to open up the shoulders, and we lift up, drawing that band back to the butt, and then reaching those arms up and around. Again, we lift the chest up, stretch out on that band, draw the arms back in line with the hips, and then draw them forward, and hopefully you don't have Cadillac bars to get in the way of your arms in that band. One more, either that cobra or that big stretch with that band. The chest opens up, and then we draw back. And then we can go ahead and make our way to a child's pose. We always want to get a little bit of forward flexion after we take extension, so just a little oppositional stretch for that lower back. Nice big inhale and exhale, we'll round up. And we're gonna find a single hand weight if you are using weights today. And we just wanna set it down on the mat as we find our position. So we want to find our quadruped position, hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and then we're gonna pick that weight up with our left hand and sweep the arm back. Now we're gonna bend and extend that left arm. If you wanna challenge, extend the right leg long and keep that right leg lifted as we work that left tricep. We wanna keep your elbow tucked into your side, bend your arm to a 90-degree bend, and lengthen back. Regardless of whether your leg is lifted or your knee is down, you want to keep a navel to spine connection, keep that length in your back. You want to feel your abs working as we work that left tricep. Bending and extending your arm, hold it long, flip the palm up to the ceiling, little pulses up, up, up with that arm, keep going, breathing through that. We're gonna lower the arm down, plant your hand, lift that right leg if it wasn't lifted, and then bend your knee, flex your foot, and like you're trying to stamp the ceiling with your heel, we're just lifting that leg and lowering. Your knee will never get lower than your hip. We squeeze the glutes with our lifts, and we lower the knee down. We're gonna find a few cat-cows, so we scoop the abs in and up, and then we sink through the back, opening up the chest. Again, rounding through your center, drop your head, look at your belly button, round that back, and then sink through the center, open up the chest, and we find our neutral spine. Your right hand will grab your weight, and we're gonna lengthen the arm back. If you lifted your leg on the first side, you lift the left leg now, and we bend and extend our right arm. Bending and extending, we wanna get that squeeze through the back of the arm. Your elbow stays tucked into your side. We're getting our tricep fired up. Again, we have a navel to spine connection. We are not letting that lower back arch. We bend and extend, getting into our right tricep. Bending and extending, we can hold the arm long and pulse it up, up, up. Your palm is facing up towards the ceiling. Get that squeeze through the back of the arm. Keep pulsing, then we lower it down. We will plant the hand, your left leg is long, and we bend that knee, and we're going to lift and lower, stamping the ceiling with our heel. Squeezing the glutes, make sure you have that bend of the knee, and then we can lower the knee down, sit back on your heels, and reach our arms nice and long. Nice big inhale, and exhale. We'll round up one vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the final thing to lift back up. And we will just get the weight out of the way so it's not in the center of the mat. We will make our way to laying down on our back. And we're gonna work our abs a little bit here. So we're gonna pull our right knee into the chest. We wanna have our outside hand on the ankle, our inside hand on the knee. Our left leg will extend long. We lift up to the chest, gaze at the belly button, and switch to that left leg. Inhale, right knee comes in, and exhale, left. We wanna have the right hand on the right ankle, and then the left hand on the left ankle. Arms switch, so it's always the outside hand to the ankle. Inhale, switch, and exhale, switch, and then pull the knees in. We can relax the neck and head back. Our knees are drawn in, our hands are on the shins. We'll lift up to the chest again, gaze at the belly button, arms reach back, legs draw forward, and we exhale it in. Inhale, reach, exhale, navel the spine to draw back in. Inhale, reach, gaze at that navel point the whole time, exhale back in. Inhale, reach it back, heels together, toes apart, and exhale it in. Again, inhale, we can reach, and exhale, draw back in, relax the neck and head back. We're gonna lift our right leg up to the ceiling. You wanna grab as high towards your ankle as you can, and switch legs. Again, inhale, switch with that right leg, and exhale, switch. Inhale, switch, and exhale to switch. Reaching up as high towards your ankle as you can get, reaching long out of the hip. Inhale, switch, right leg, exhale, switch, and pull the knees in, relax the neck and head back. We're going to lift both legs up to the ceiling. You can keep the arms by your side if you want to keep the head down, otherwise hands behind the neck and head, and we lift up through the chest. Heels together, toes apart. Inhale, we lower both legs forward, and we exhale to lift. Again, inhale, lengthen and lower, and we exhale to lift. As you're here, I want you to make sure your lower back is not arching. If you feel your lower back arching up, don't go quite so low. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, navel the spine to draw back up. And we can go ahead and relax the neck and head back. The hands are behind the neck and head for our last one for crisscross here. The right knee will pull into the chest. The left leg goes long. We lift the chest and twist up and over towards that knee and switch sides. Inhale over to the right. We exhale over to the left. Make sure it's your shoulder and not the elbow lifting up and over, and we switch. Inhale up and over to our right. Exhale up and over to our left. Inhale, round up, and exhale, switch. And then we can relax the neck and head back. You can give your knees a little hug, maybe rock side to side, take a little release off of your lower back. Take a second here. And then we'll plant our feet firmly on the mat for another roll up. We round up one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to sitting up nice and tall. And then from here, we can take our fit ball if you have it. We're gonna sit with our knees bent and feet planted, and that ball's just gonna go just kind of underneath the sacrum in the lower back. We're gonna find a C curve. Your hands are over the belly button, and we're just rounding back a little bit further in that C curve, and then we scoop the abs in and out. Now, if you don't have a fit ball, you can also take a sweatshirt and ball it up so you have a little bit of feedback behind you, or we can just round back without anything behind us, but I want you to make sure you don't uncurl from this nice rounded position. You want to hold that scoop in the belly, and that ball just gives you a little feedback. We get a nice little shake here. And we round back up. Again, we round back, elbows are wide and lifted. We get that scoop of the belly, and we scoop the abs in and up to draw forward. We've got one more. We're gonna round back and hang out in our little shaky zone and breathe in it here. Relaxing our shoulders, holding in, breathing and holding, we round up. We're gonna get that ball a little bit higher so it's right under the sacrum, hands behind the neck and head. With a flat back, we're gonna hinge back about 10 degrees, and we restack, sit taller. Again, hinge back, get that nice little shake from your transverse abdominis, and then we grow taller up and out of the hips. Hinge it back, hold that shake, and exhale, restack, sit taller. Again, inhale, hinge it back, hold that shake, and then exhale, restack, sit up even taller. We're gonna hinge back and hold in that shake, activating our transverse abdominis, and we sit up nice and tall. And then we can take that ball and just set it completely out of the way if you had been using it. We will be laying down on one of our sides. I want you to line your back up with the edge of the mat. You can prop your neck and head up. Make sure your hips and shoulders are at the back edge, and we lengthen your legs to the front corner of the mat. You want your hips stacked, your shoulders stacked, your top hand is a kickstand, your top leg is at hip height. We inhale, sweep it forward, and we exhale, sweep it back. We want to keep that leg at hip height for our sweeps. You want to make sure you're not rocking back and forth off of your stabilizing hip. We inhale on the way forward, we exhale on the way back. Get that squeeze and lift under your cheek. Inhale, sweep it forward, and exhale it back. We add to this. We sweep forward, you circle up and behind your other leg. Again, back to hip height. We sweep forward and you circle it up and back. We are doing this in this direction for 3 more. Reaching long out of that hip, back to hip height for our sweeps. Reach it up and back. 1 more. Inhale, sweep forward. Exhale as we circle. The legs will line up and we sweep back and you circle up and forward. Again, you sweep that leg backwards and you circle it up and around. We have 3 more. Reaching long out of that hip, last 2. Get that squeeze and lift under your cheek. 1 more, sweep it back, circle it up and forward. Your legs will line up and we draw circles the size of a cantaloupe, pointing through the toes, reaching long out of that hip socket, squeezing those glutes, firing up that gluteus medius. Keep breathing through your work. Let's reverse your direction. Reaching longer and further out of the hip sockets. Keep breathing through your work. Keep circling it about and relax your leg down. We are going to turn to lay on the stomach. If you do have that fit ball, let's tuck it between the ankles. Your hands will go underneath your forehead. We want to bend your knees so your heels are towards the tush. We squeeze the glutes and lift the feet up to the ceiling and lower back down. Now, if you have that ball, we add a squeeze into that ball. If you don't have the ball, your heels are touching. I want you to squeeze the glutes, lift the quads up and off the mat, and then lower back down. We stay lifted now and we pulse it up, 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 up. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze that ball, lift it up and lower down. Go ahead and reach back. Let's take that ball out from between the ankles, set it aside, and then we will lay down on our opposite side to even out our glutes. We're going to have our back lined up at the back edge of the mat and your legs are drawn to the front corner of the mat. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, top hand is our kickstand, top leg floats to hip height. We inhale, sweep it forward, and we exhale to sweep it back. Again, inhale, forward. Exhale, get that squeeze and lift under your cheek as we draw back. Keeping that leg at hip height, making sure that you're not wobbling forward or backwards with the movement of your leg. Inhale it forward and exhale it back. And we add to it, sweep forward, circle up and behind your other leg. Back to hip height. Again, sweep it forward on your inhale. Exhale, circle up and back. We have 3 more in this direction, reaching long out of that hip. And 2. Last 1. We will sweep that leg so it's in line with the other leg, and then we reverse. Sweep backwards, circle up and forward. Again, inhale, sweep it back, circle it up and around. Reaching longer and further out of your hip socket. Again, sweep back at that squeeze and lift, circle it up and forward. Make sure that as we're here, we're not wobbling through the hips. And then we line the legs up and we draw our smaller circles, our cantaloupe-sized circles, reaching longer and further out of the hip socket. Let's reverse our direction. Breathing through our circles, pointing through the toe. Keep squeezing those cheeks so we get deeply into our glutes. And we are going to rest that leg down. Turn to lay on your stomach, hands go underneath the forehead. Legs are long, heels together, toes apart, connecting the glutes with the legs, and we beat those heels together. Pressing your pelvis into the mat, using our navel to spine connection so we're not lifting that chest up. And then we can go ahead and lower the feet. Let's press back and take a nice big child's pose. Arms reach long, get a little forward flexion. And we are gonna round our way up and make our way to standing up on the mat, getting ready for some push-ups. So we wanna stand tall, heels together, toes apart. And on our inhale, chin towards chest, we will be rounding our way down. 1 vertebrae at a time, hands will find the mat and we walk out. So we want to find a plank with your shoulders over your wrists. You have the option of dropping to the knees for your push-ups or with long legs. Elbows reach backwards and we lower and lift. So the elbows don't go out to the sides, they reach in line with your rib cage. And we do 5 push-ups per set. 2 more, we lower and lift. And it's not about getting all the way down if your back starts to arch. After your 5th one, we can pike the hips up, walk the hands back, Heels are lowered down and we slowly round our way back up. Your neck and head are the final thing to lift. Standing up nice and tall once again. We have 2 more sets. Chin towards chest, we'll round our way down. And if push-ups are too much, you're welcome to just hold a plank. We want to find our position. Remember, if you need to drop to the knees, go to the knees. As long as your back is long, we have 5 push-ups. If you are going too low and your back is arching, make your range of motion a little bit smaller. We're getting into our triceps with these elbows being close to the side. After our 5th push-up, we pike our hips up and we walk our hands back. Heels are down. We'll slowly round our way up 1 vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the final thing to lift. We have 1 more set. Chin towards chest. Slowly rounding your way down. Your hands will find the mat. We walk back out. We find our plank. The back is long. And we lower and lift. Keeping that length in your spine. Get that squeeze through the back of the arm. Last 3 and 2. 1 more. We will finish up, pike the hips up and walk the hands back, but this time we keep the neck and head heavy. Round up just so your hands clear the mat, and we draw loose circles with the arms, relaxing the shoulders, keeping the head heavy. Reverse the direction of these circles for your arms, and then draw the arms to a stop. We slowly round up 1 vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the final thing to lift up. Shoulders will draw down and back, then the neck lifts, and then the head, and you have made it through your workout. And that is it. We made it through our workout today. Great job to all of you guys. If you're interested in adding any of the props that we used in this workout to your collection, check out the link below. It's gonna bring you to PilatesPunx.com, the video add-on section, so you can find all the best deals on the props. That leads you to our Amazon affiliate account, so you can do your shopping where you are used to getting all of your things you shop on Amazon, but we get a small percentage of that, so you're helping a small business out. If you have any questions, always feel free to email info@PilatesPunx.com. Great job to you, and I will catch you guys next week.